Your ab routine is broken. Crunches, leg raises, bicycle kicks, sit-ups, mountain climbers, Russian twists. You're doing 6 exercises and getting the results of 1. Here's why, and here's the fix. Most people treat ab training like a checklist. More exercises equals more coverage. That's wrong. Your core isn't 6 separate muscles that need 6 separate movements. It's one integrated system that does 3 jobs: resist rotation, resist extension, resist flexion under load. Once you understand that, you realize most ab exercises are just different costumes on the same 3 problems. And once you train the problem instead of the costume, you cut your workout in half and double your results. Let's break down what's actually going wrong. Crunches and sit-ups train spinal flexion, bending your spine forward, but your spine isn't designed to repeatedly flex under load. That's how you get disc irritation, not a six-pack. Leg raises and mountain climbers, those are mostly hip flexor exercises wearing an ab costume. Your hip flexors are doing the work, your abs are just along for the ride. Russian twists train rotation, but with momentum, not control, which means you're training your spine to whip, not to stabilize. None of these are bad exercises. They're just inefficient, redundant, and in some cases, mildly risky. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody selling you an ab program wants you to know. A strong core isn't built by moving your spine more. It's built by training your spine to resist movement. That's the entire science of core training in one sentence. Your abs are stabilizers first, movers a distant second. Train them as stabilizers, and everything changes. So here are the 3 plank variations that replace all 6 of those exercises and why each one works. Number 1. The standard front plank, but loaded correctly. Forearms down, elbows under shoulders, body in a dead straight line from head to heel. Here's the part everyone skips. Actively pull your elbows toward your toes without moving, and squeeze your glutes like you're cracking a walnut. That tension is what separates a real plank from an Instagram photo plank. This single position trains anti-extension, stopping your lower back from sagging under load. That's the exact job crunches and sit-ups we're failing to do safely. Hold for 30 to 45 seconds, 3 rounds. Number 2, the side plank with a hip dip. Stack your feet, prop up on one forearm, lift your hips into a straight line, then lower your hip an inch toward the floor and drive it back up. Small range, total control. This trains anti-lateral flexion, meaning your obliques learn to stop your spine from collapsing sideways. This is the exact job Russian twists were failing to do, because twists train rotation with momentum, and your obliques actually need to learn control, not whip. 12 slow reps per side, 2 rounds. Number 3, the dead bug. Lie on your back, arms reaching toward the ceiling, knees bent at 90 degrees. Slowly lower one arm and the opposite leg toward the floor without letting your lower back lift off the ground. Reset, switch sides. This trains anti-rotation and anti-extension simultaneously while your limbs move independently, which is precisely what leg raises and mountain climbers were trying and failing to do, because in those exercises, your hip flexors hijack the movement before your abs ever get involved. In the dead bug, your lower back glued to the floor is the entire point.
If it lifts, you've lost the representative. 8 slow reps per side, 2 rounds. That's it. 3 exercises, roughly 6 minutes, and you've covered anti-extension, anti-lateral flexion, and anti-rotation, the only 3 jobs your core actually has. Here's why this works better than the 6 exercise version. When you train movement, you're often training compensation patterns. Your hip flexors, your momentum, your ego reps. When you train resistance to movement, there's nowhere to hide. The muscle has to do the job because there's no momentum to borrow and no other muscle group waiting to take over. That's why people who switch from crunches to planks often feel their abs working harder in week 1 than they did in 6 months of sit-ups. It's not a new muscle. It's the same muscle, finally getting isolated correctly. One more thing before you go test this. Your core does not need volume. It needs tension and consistency. 3 sets, 3 times a week with real engagement beats 20 minutes of frantic crunching every single day. Stop chasing the burn. Start chasing the hold. If you've been doing the 6 exercise version and wondering why your midsection still looks soft despite the effort, this is why. You weren't lazy. You were training the wrong job description. Fix the job, and the body follows.